one, fight!
All right, this episode of Combat Zone, we have the one, the only Taylor KillaBee Starling with us today. How are we doing, Taylor? Thank you for joining us.
I'm fantastic. It's almost fight time, so it's almost like waiting on Christmas is how I compare it all the time. So I'm very excited. I feel great. I'm ready to go. How are you today?
I am magnificent. I'm, just getting ready to head down to Miami this week and then back to Tampa next week to see this wonderful woman put it all on the line, literally, at least the toe, and give it to her opponent, which is, we'll get in here in a little bit, Cassie Robb. But first, since this is kind of you're popping your cherry here at Combat Zone, let's kind of let all the BW Sports 1 fans know the background of Taylor Starling in combat sports.
Oh, man, I've been fighting since I took my first fight when I was 16, but I've been training since I was about 12 or 13. Boxing is primarily my favorite, has always been my favorite. I've done jiu-jitsu, I've done kickboxing, I've done MMA, I was signed to Glory previously for kickboxing. MMA. I've just been all over the place, but bare knuckle was where I wanted to go, and it's where I had my sights set on once they first came about. And I just really put my nose to the grindstone, and finally got my opportunity. And I had to be like, listen, I promise, once I get to fight for you, I'm going to give you the best fucking performance you've ever seen. And what happened? Knuckle Mania happened, and now here I am, and I'm about to fight for them again, and I can't fucking wait.
Well, I know as a fan, just looking at it, I can't wait to see you back in that ring again because, like you said, at Knuckle Mania, you and Charissa Sagala went toe-to-toe, banging for 5 straight rounds. Now, granted, you did get the upper hand in I think it was the first round where you put her on her butt once and maybe once in the second round. I can't remember exactly how that fell. But honestly, after that, you guys went toe-to-toe the whole fucking fight, and it was phenomenal as a fight fan to watch, and I'm sure everybody definitely agreed that you guys deserved that fight of the night.
Yeah, it's crazy because, when you're in there and you're fighting, you don't see what's happening. Like, I just felt like I was literally putting everything I fucking had into that fight. But I remember I was just like, man, I feel like shit. Like, just after getting hit so many times, my hands were swollen. And I didn't realize, I was just really in that fight, tunnel vision. I want to finish her, want to win. I didn't think of everything else going on and, what was happening. So afterwards, to, see everybody in the way they reacted and to get to watch the fight and see it from the outside perspective was really cool because I put my heart and fucking soul in there. And I do that every time I fight. So I'm excited for next week to get to do it again.
Well, I know I'm ready, like I said, to see you back in action in the squared circle of the BKFC July 23rd in Tampa against Cassie Robb. What can you tell us about your fight camp this time around compared to against Charissa back in Knuckle Mania that you've changed, that you've maybe adapted to since you've had the experience now in the BKFC ring in a fight actual, how is it different this time around?
I've done a lot more learning about conditioning my knuckles, of course. I was kind of trying to figure that out as I went the first go around, but I really didn't have an idea. So done a lot more conditioning my knuckles. I've added another strength and conditioning coach on top of my training just to make sure that I'm as strong as I can possibly be, as fast as I can possibly be, stamina, everything on point. I've just been hitting it hard. Like ever since I fought Teresa, like I had that time period where I had to heal and my hands needed to go down and my face needed to heal. But once everything, even like my hands were still in pain and I was up in that gym, like, no, I'm going to have a fight soon. And I know it. So I basically feel like I've been in a fight camp since March. Like after I fought, I didn't even really I just went right into the next one because I was like, I know after that performance, they're going to want me back and I need to tell them that I'm ready to be back. So it's just been up. Everything's just been up, amped, and I'm definitely a different fighter than I was in February. So I'm excited because I feel like a different animal.
Well, let's be honest. If you're any quote-unquote better or different fighter than you were back at Knucklemania, this woman is in trouble across the ring from you.
Yes.
You know about her more than I do, honestly. I'm not going to lie. I've done a little research on her. But after seeing anybody in a type of fight that you guys were in back in February, that has to be putting some intimidation factor on the whole women's division just to see the fans' reaction to such a wonderful fight. Maybe this is where then my next question's kind of falling in here. Maybe this is where the nickname KillaBee came from. Please tell us and explain where the KillaBee nickname came from.
One of my teammates gave it to me. She's actually a heavyweight boxer herself. Her name is Lady Tapa. But I was training with her, and she was probably about 210 pounds. And I used to fight at 115, so I was a little lighter. Like I was training at like 120 and cutting to 115 and just really low in weight. And I'm sparring her, and I don't care. Like I didn't care. Like I wasn't scared. I wasn't like intimidated. Like we're sparring, and she would be like, yo, for one punch I throw, you're throwing like 100. She's like, you're just like a little bee. You're like a little bee that keeps stinging me, you little KillaBee. And she just kept calling me that, and it stuck. And then everybody started calling me that. And that's how I got it, because I'm fast, and I will keep coming at you with everything I got. And I don't slow down.
I mean, you have it on your hat, says talent, and that's exactly what type of person should be wearing that hat that says talent. The person who has talent. Underneath that, KillaBee Taylor Starling.
Yes.
Now,
Bare Knuckle gave me this hat.
well, yeah, and I was waiting for the mailman to come today because I got something that says it's in the mail, and I was really hoping I was going to have it in time for our interview, but your shirt has not shown up yet. I was really looking forward to wearing it for you and surprising you like that.
I can't wait.
But it did say it's going to be here before 3 o'clock, so maybe I'll be having it next week.
The second we hang up, it's going to be there.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting. I'm like hearing outside cars go by. I'm wondering if one of them's that. So, kind of being around, Keith and the gym guys and all that. And then I seen, you had Tony Loco Soto in there this past couple days working with you guys. How has it evolved your training and your fight style being around different types of fighters?
It's awesome. I like to definitely pick up things from different people, because no fighter is the same. I don't think. I think everybody has different things that are their strong points or their low points, and I like to pick up different things from different people and learn what I can from them and just absorb everything I can. And it's really cool to be around because I don't really have any female training partners. I have female teammates at the gym, but they're not higher up in pro fighting and stuff like that. They're amazing people, but I train primarily with all the men. So it's really cool because all the guys are just amazing, and they're always so kind and so willing to work with me, and I'm thankful for that because I've been to gyms where men don't even want to fight like a girl in there, So
they don't want to be embarrassed. Let's not lie. They don't want to be embarrassed.
Yeah, I've gotten that too from some training with men in the past. But yeah, no, everybody there is so awesome and so amazing. I couldn't ask for better people to be around me, and I really just take it all in. I can be a brat, and they deal with me being a brat, so they're awesome.
So does anything from outside the sports combat realm get brought into the training facility between you and somebody else when there's maybe a spat?
Yeah, me and Keith. Me and Keith, I'm like, it's funny because I'm sweet as can be, but I'm like a Sour Patch Kid. Like, I'm sweet as can be, but I'm also a fucking psychopath. And like, I'm one of those people that wears my heart on my sleeve. So if I'm upset, like, everyone is gonna know Taylor's upset. Like, that's just how it is. Like, and I can't hide it. My mouth works before any other part of my body does. Like, I just literally say whatever's on my mind without filtering it. So there have been definitely a couple times, like, nothing outside of the gym, just more so like maybe we're doing a drill I don't like, that I don't particularly like enjoy doing, and Keith's making me do it, and I'm like, I fucking hate you right now, and like just kind of go at it, or like I've thrown cheap shots at him just because I've been like mad. And like we definitely get that, but we are really good about just communicating, and like I'm really good. As crazy as I fucking am, I come with a warning label, so I will literally walk in the gym and be like, listen, motherfuckers, I'm feeling mentally unstable today, so tread lightly. Like, that's like how I am.
Do they take that warning?
Yes. Well,
okay.
Sometimes they don't, and then I'll like blow up, and then they're like, oh yeah, you did like mention that you were feeling crazy today.
Yeah, well, you know, that parental advisory sticker should be on certain things. Maybe not music, but you, Taylor, maybe it should be.
Yeah.
So kind of going on that aspect now, we're going to kind of go a little personal side. Being a mom in combat sports, coming home from Knuckle Mania, you know, in a war that you were in, looking a little bit different. You know, obviously you got some bruises, you got some cuts, you got some swelling. What does your kids think of this?
They know I do a really good job at communicating with them, and they come to the gym with me. I always communicate like, hey, I was just telling them yesterday, hey, I'm leaving next week. Like, I'm going to be gone next week, but when I come back, I might have boo-boos and I might be a little hurt, but I'm okay. I know what I'm going to do. And I tell them, like, I preach all the time about following their dreams, and like, this is my dream and I'm following it. And like, they can do the same with whatever they want to do in life. And I let them know. But I have a story from Knuckle Mania. After I fought, I was soaked in head to toe in blood, but I didn't think about that. And my face is swollen and I'm soaked in blood. And the first thing I want to do is call my kids. Mm-hmm. Right? So
FaceTime.
What do? FaceTime. I go and I grab my phone and I like FaceTime my kids, and I'm waiting. And my son, my oldest one, he's 5. He opens up the phone and his eyes were just like, but he was fine. He was fine.
Right.
And he's like, hey, mommy. And I'm like, hey, mommy. He's like, I won. Did you watch it? And he's like, yeah. And you did a good job. And then he hangs up, and I get a text from their dad, like 5 minutes later. He's like, Carson is bawling his eyes out. So it was just so sweet because he held it together for me, because he didn't want me to see him upset. So he like held it together, and then the second he hung up, he lost it. But then I called him back. I'm like, I'm okay. Like, I'm fine. And I came home, and they saw me, and they were kind of just like, and then they got over it. They just asked me every 5 minutes, like, are you okay? Do you hurt? And like stuff like that. But I explained it to them pretty well so that they know what's coming. I think it was more of a shock the first time I ever had like any injury in front of them. But that time they kind of knew, and he hid it from me that he was upset like a little man. So it was cute.
Now, has he seen any of your previous fights before Knuckle Mania at all? I know you said he's 5, so I don't know how much he's remembering at 2 years old or what, but.
You know, it's funny now because he's gotten to the point where, like, even if the UFC is on TV and it could be men up there fighting, and he'll be like, look, it's mommy. Like, he knows like exactly what I do. He's watched some of my fights, and then there's funny stories of me, like a fight I've lost and I have like a black eye, and he'll be like, you have a black eye because you lost your fight. I'm like, thanks, rub it in. They're really cool about it. My littlest one, he's 3. He knows about it. He comes to the gym too, but he's so tough. He doesn't care. Like, my face could be like complete, like just like last time, and he's unfazed.
So you have complete polar opposites in the boys, right?
Absolutely. One's so sensitive. One is like tough as nails. So.
Kind of sounds like my brother and myself. You know, he runs our racing division, and he's a little sensitive, and I'm tough as nails. Now, he might have a little different say-so in it certain times, but I'm not the one who got him in trouble all the time, because there's 6.5 years difference in us when we were younger. So Going in again against Cassie Robb, what do you see in your opponent this time around that you want to exploit, that you want to go at? What do you want to, what kind of mission are you putting into this fight now, having already won under your belt?
It's hard to say because I know that she's tough as nails. Like, anyone can look at her record and talk shit or say whatever they want, but I've sat and personally watched her. I've watched her evolve from where I came from, like just through growing through my fight career. She's been one of those people that's been in the loop that I've seen and I've watched, and I know she's fucking tough. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I think the advantage I have is the experience of being in there and knowing what to expect. But it's different. Like, I know it's going to be different than my last fight. She's tough, but I'm tougher. And like, I'm just ready to go. I have been working on lots of stuff. I can't give you all my secrets and my tools, but
Of course not.
But all I can say is I'm ready, and I'm a completely different fighter than February, so that should tell you everything that you need to know.
I like it. I like what I'm hearing. Like I said, I cannot wait to see you guys live in action July 23rd, Friday, from Tampa, Seminole Hard Rock. I'm going to be down there. I'm going to see you then. I'm going to get you on another interview then in person, and I can't wait.
Absolutely.
But before we go, we have to do the infamous rapid knockout.
Oh, I love rapid fire questions. Those are my favorite. Okay.
Okay, so you're familiar with the thing, rapid knockout. 5 questions, has nothing to do with fighting at all. You ready?
So do I only answer with one word?
No, you can go on. No, you can go
Okay,
on. This isn't like a Family Feud where you got to spit them out real quick. I'm just coming with 5 questions. If you want to sit on it, we can sit on it.
Okay, I'm ready.
Favorite food?
Donuts.
Whether that be so donut. What kind of donuts? Let's get involved here.
I don't discriminate against any donut. I love all donuts. I really love Krispy Kreme. I love this place called Duck Donuts. I love all donuts. They're my favorite.
Now, is Duck? Help me out here, because I'm a little bit familiar with the southern part of South Carolina. Is Duck Donuts like a South Carolina thing or what?
I think so, like a South Carolina, North Carolina thing, because there's a couple in North Carolina. But what they do is, like, you order your donuts, you pick out your toppings and stuff, and they make them like the second you order them. So every single time you order donuts from them, the whole box is hot. You can customize like different donuts, and it's really, really good.
So I guess my next question is, can these be taken on a plane?
I don't know. Probably. Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? Are you catching what I'm throwing down?
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't miss many meals, and I don't get a lot of donuts, but I like them. So.
Oh, I love donuts. That's my weakness. I love sweets.
Okay. Well, I know you're in weight cut and fight camp and all that, so I don't want to tempt you too bad to go to Duck Donuts before you see me, but just throwing it out there. Second question. What is on KillaBees' musical playlist? What is your go-to either genre, group, artist? Who is it?
I really like 90s rock. I like anywhere from the 70s to the 90s, but my favorite band of all time is the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Favorite band of all time. I like old school rap. I just don't like country music. I really don't like country music.
I can't get into it either.
The only one country artist I like is like Toby Keith, and that's because he's an asshole, and I think he's like super great. But other than that, like, I only listen to rock and rap. Red Hot Chili Peppers being number one. I actually have one of their gold-plated albums, like, signed by all of them. My dream is to meet them live in person and cry at one of their concerts. So.
Okay, so what's your favorite song by the Chili Peppers?
Oh my God, that's impossible to pick. I love
top 3 then. Give me top 3.
Strip My Mind, Dosed, and Can't Stop. Those are 3, but all of them are my favorite.
All right. Fair enough. Question number 3. Other than fighting and training in that, what's your favorite hobby?
I actually work at a bakery, so I love to bake.
So you like donuts, you work at a bakery. How many donuts do you make in a day just for yourself to say, man, that looked good? Let me try to make it.
Actually, the funny thing is the owner of the bakery, she tends to be the donut maker for that very reason. I make brownies, chocolate chip cookies. I do all kinds of like different specialty candies. Like I make this cracker candy. I make Oreo truffles. I make Buckeyes, haystacks, things like that. Cookies, all the cookies you can think of, Rice Krispie treats, things like that.
Okay. So what's your favorite thing to bake? Or what's your kids' favorite thing for you to bake?
Ooh, they love making cakes with me. I like doing cupcakes too. I've completely spaced that out. I love doing cupcakes, but the boys love to make cakes. One of their favorite things to do when we're at home is to like make a cake and for me to just let them like decorate it. And usually by the end, it looks like a diabetic bomb of like sparkly, glittery, sugary candy and like all of that to where they don't even really want to eat it, but they just love making it and then decorating the cake. But my personal favorite thing to make is I love to make macarons, which are like the French little sandwich cookies, and I like to make chocolate chip cookies. So basic, so basic. I love making chocolate chip cookies. It's like therapeutic to me.
Do you use the little or the bigger sized chocolate chips?
I use regular size chocolate chips, but I put a lot of them in.
So like one batch of cookies, you went through 3 bags of chocolate chips, huh?
Absolutely.
I like your style. I like your style. I'm going to maybe have to ask you to just fill, and I'll pay for it. I'll pay for the check-on bag. Just fill a bag up of nothing but wonderful baking pastries for me.
Bring it, yeah.
Yeah, you know. All right, number 4. If take combat sports out of it completely, is there any other sport that you would like to have went in and excelled in, or what's your favorite sport to watch?
Oh my gosh, I don't watch any sports.
Okay.
Which
Kati.
I don't mean to make it not exciting. I watch.
No, having
no
you on there. Come
sports.
on, let's not cut the bullshit.
Having
you on is exciting enough.
I just don't. I really don't even watch a whole lot of TV. Every so often, I'll watch like Golden Girls and like like on Hulu or like something maybe on Netflix. But for the most part, anybody that watches TV is my children, and they're watching like Sonic the Hedgehog. But I don't really watch a whole lot of TV. Even it's funny because a lot of people give me a hard time because I do enjoy watching the fights when there's somebody that I enjoy watching, I guess. But really, for the most part, I don't really even care to watch the fights. I like watching the bare knuckle fights. But yeah, I would. When I was little, I played softball. I tried to be on the dance team and the cheerleading team, but I wasn't good at it. And that's kind of how I found my way into fighting. Is I wasn't fucking good at anything other than in school. I was getting in a lot of fights and people bullying me and getting into fights, and I was like good at it.
What was you bullied for? Just because you weren't good at dancing or cheering?
No, I actually had moved out to Albuquerque, New Mexico when I was really young. So I was about 10 years old. I was like 8 to 10, somewhere around there, and I moved to Albuquerque. When I moved there, I got picked on for being white, for being like the white girl, which like is crazy because like, you know, it's just crazy. But I got picked on for being the tiny little white girl, but I didn't take any shit. So
they learned quick.
That. Yeah. So, and then in Albuquerque, like it's crazy out there. So yeah, I had to learn quick to protect myself. And I just always got in fights and people would bully me. Sometimes I'd just get in fights just because someone wanted to fight me. And that's how I ended up in combat sports. I ended up doing wrestling and jiu-jitsu and going to a to a taekwondo gym and getting my foot in the door there. So that's how it started. And it was one of those
literally
that I just was good at.
I see how you did that. Taekwondo, foot in the door. Yeah. Perfect. All right. Last but not least, favorite role model, whether that be personal side or somebody you looked up to in athletics or entertainment or anything. Who is it?
Let me think really hard on that one. I'm always like, this is it. Like when people ask me this question, I get stumped. But it doesn't have to be a celebrity or anything.
No, this is your personal role model. Wherever that takes it, it's yours.
Probably my dad. I was like, I'm all emotional. Me and my dad, like, we've had a really rocky relationship. Like, there have been times where we didn't talk to each other for years or get along, and my dad's the definition of an asshole. But he's also like, I've also watched him be a single dad. I've watched him go through marriage. I've watched him go through divorce. I've seen him. I remember when we were little, like I was poor, like we were poor. And now like my dad has built like this whole entire life for himself. Like you got it. Hey. But my dad has built an entire life for himself. And the way that he has, like the way he's just built things and the way he's taught me things and to work fucking hard for him. And that's why I got that truck was a deal between me and my dad and me working hard for my dad. And that was a really proud moment. So he's definitely my role model. Look at that shirt.
Look at that, guys. Look at that. It came right during the interview.
Look at my mug.
Surprised they didn't put you like at the after face from Knuckle Mania. That would be a hell of a shirt, man.
I know, right? I have a picture on my wall, actually, I'm looking at right now, but I have a picture on my wall that's like my favorite picture ever from Knuckle Mania. It's the black and white one where I'm like this and I'm just like smiling so big, but my whole face is just like distorted.
So did your dad kind of approve of you going into the fight game when you were younger or getting into that stuff, or was he kind of against it, or was he for it?
Well, he was living over here at the time in South Carolina, and I was living in Albuquerque when I kind of told him, hey, like I think I'm gonna start fighting. And like he was always super supportive. And I remember sending him my first ever boxing match, like the first fight I ever took. I had a video of it on, like, this was in 2012, and I like sent it to him. And he watched it and he was like, nice. Like, cause I had won and I won unanimous decision. He was like, that was so awesome. And I don't think that he ever thought that like I was like going to be like doing it on this level, but he's super supportive. The one thing is he will not go in person to my fights. He has been to one. And I think that like caused him to almost have a heart attack. So he won't go to my fights. He watched my last bare knuckle fight and was like, oh my God, I'm so glad that you'll never do that again. And I was like, what? I was like, I'm like signed to them. What are you talking about? And he was just like, God, that was fucking awful to watch.
Yeah, my mom never once saw me fight, never came to watch me fight. My dad did, but my mom was, no, that was just one thing mommy wasn't going to do.
Yeah, my dad is all for it. So he's very supportive. He just doesn't want to be there and see it in person. He buys my fights and watches them live. And it's funny because he'll be like, they always record him watching the fights. And he's like screaming at the TV, bloody murder. But yeah, he's super supportive about it. He just doesn't want to see it in person.
Yeah, we get it. Well, Taylor, I know that you got to go. You got some more training and conditioning to do.
Absolutely.
One last thing. If you got any shout outs to sponsors, partners, friends, fans, anybody, the floor is now yours, dear.
Oh my God. Now this is when I lose all memory of my sponsors. So I want to thank BWSPORTS 1. I want to thank Knuckle Up Media. I want to thank Carma Coin. I want to thank Girl Gang Wraps, Warpath, Driveway Dumpsters. I've got Mechanical something. I can't remember my sponsor's name. I'm so sorry. There's so many of them. I would like Carolina CBD, Pudding's One Stop Shop. I know I'm probably missing somebody else, but to everybody sponsoring me, thank you so much. This camp has been crazy. My life has been changed forever, and I'm trying to handle this kind of fight camp on this level. And it's been a lot of work. Thank you for the love and support that everybody gives me every single day. Thank you to my children for being my motivating factor. And thank you for having me on today. I appreciate it.
No problem one bit. The appreciation is all on my end, dear. I cannot wait to once again see you back in the squared circle to toe the line next Friday, July 23rd, Tampa Bay, Seminole Hard Rock. I'll be down there. You'll be down there. We'll have to get together, see each other in person, and I can't wait. Again, this is always Combat Zone, and we will see you next time.
Bye, guys.